What's happening, guys? It's your girl Mina. Welcome back to my channel. You guys already know what it is. Listen, Derby weekend is finally here. I know a lot of people are actually dreading it, but the closer it gets, the more excited I'm kind of getting. I joined here on, I don't know, the left or the right of me, I got Marcel, and on the other side, I have Hamza. Firstly, Marcel, how you doing? How you doing,
I'm
bro?
good, thank you. And I was just saying off air, very, very excited to speak to Hamza today, and yourself, of course, Mina. And just, the big game coming up in the week, man. So yeah, feeling good. Just had my nap, feeling rested, and looking forward to the conversation, man.
Big up. Hamza, how you doing? When you're not terrorizing the streets of Twitter or Spaces, how you doing, bro?
No, I'm doing very well. Man. I'm looking forward to it a bit. It's kind of I'm shocked again we're playing again, so I'm looking forward to this. Yeah, talking to my enemies, man. My enemies.
Bradley, enemies. Big up to everyone in the chat, guys. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. If you want to join the membership club, you can. It's the pinned comment in the chat. You get your badges, emojis, custom member content. If you've got any questions, comments, or if you just want to troll Hamza or Marcel, you can send in super chats to have your comments read out. Listen, Man City are picking up form right now, yeah? And Hamza, I'm going to come to you first. Do you feel like you are in a good place to get a win on Sunday? Because a lot of pundits and a lot of outlets are saying this is a season-defining game for Man United. Forget Man City. And I've seen Arsenal fans saying to me, please do us a favor and beat Man City. How the times have changed.
Listen, it's kind of like, this is what, listen, first is my birthday today.
Guys, everyone, hold on. How old are you?
Hopefully. Hey, come on, man. I'm an old man. Now, come on, 30s, man. I'm 30s, man. Come on, I'm old guy.
Guys, make sure you wish Hamza happy birthday in the chat. Make sure you guys wish him happy birthday.
So March is a stressful. I should be happy this month, but this month I'll be stressed. This month's a difficult month for me. I told City fans before that. I said, I looked at the fixture. I said, March is a defining season for Man City. Defining season for Man City for us, yeah. And big up, guys. I can give you about stories about Pele, Carrington, and all that. Your Cruyff, I was there, man, the trenches. So listen, I just knew. I looked at those fixtures. I said, March, prepare. Listen, I told City fans, rest February. You don't have stress, yeah. March, listen. Now get ready. It's war. Like literally, it's war. They've screwed us up. United, Liverpool, Brighton, Newcastle, Arsenal, all there. So this is the one I need my players. I beg everyone, stay fit for this month. Because including Champions League. And I'm begging you, FIR, just make an easy draw after Copenhagen, man. Give me like PSV or something like that again, man, please. Because this March, starting with United, is a season defining. Pep knows it. This is a month. Because if we we need to start well. United is a tough game. People have to understand it's a rivalry. It's about class, standards. Yeah? And for United as well. So they can't take United lightly. Because United will come there with a game plan of, listen, we can just sit back and hit them on the counter. City need to score first. They have to score first. And the fans, I urge the fans, and I've been there creating the atmosphere, and you guys don't know because you have to create the atmosphere of intimidation, booing, and excitement. Our away fans are one of the best, so they will keep chanting.
You just say your away fans are one of the best.
Yeah,
the best. They're one of the best, 100%. And I'll tell you, at home we can be intimidating because I've been there, I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it, and it can get really intimidating. And even Real Madrid faced that consequences last season. They said the most intimidating said they've ever been. In the market written, it was the most fierce, intimidating stadium Madrid have been to for many decades. And they could not hold that pressure. And literally, because City wanted to win that Champions League, so everyone was giving the flag. So this weekend, I need fans to chant, to boo. When United get the ball, they need to be onto them. Because I need United players to be intimidated. So to me, this game is a big game. It is a must-win game. We have to win that game. Because Liverpool are on top.
This sounds like a monologue, yeah, that Pep Guardiola gave you about hyping the fans up. Because I swear Pep Guardiola a couple of months back, he was saying, we need the fans, we need you guys there. This is a Manchester derby. You shouldn't be needed to say that to your fans, full stop. Like, they should...
when you've been winning me now for a long time, yeah, you can...
What you say, you get complacent with the atmosphere. Come on, United were winning for how long in the 2000s? Fans never got complacent.
No, but it wasn't like, was Old Trafford like intimidating? Like that used
Theatre of dreams. Theatre of dreams.
Every opponent, like a love stadium. Like,
listen. Every opponent came to Man United, came to Old Trafford and said, this is a stadium they've always dreamed to play in. Nobody flipping says, I always dreamed to play in the Etihad. No one ever says, I always dreamed to play in the Etihad and play against Man City. No one ever says that. Probably not even today.
The new generation of footballers have said that.
Ain't no way they're going to say that. New generation are going to say
it. Giorena said that he grew up watching Man City. Edson Alvarez, the Mexican player that plays for West Ham, said it. He said, I grew up like as kids in Mexico. We when Aguero moment, a lot of Mexican kids start supporting, and I was one of the few started. I was the initial project of my dreams to play Man City. So that I understand that beginning, but for us now, you know, I'll tell you one thing you guys don't understand, and this is when I told you City fans are different, and I rate them for one thing. That's why I want them to stand out and chant. No, I've never seen anyone in my life, any stadium in the world, that anyone wins the Premier League, these guys are on the pitch. They're mad. Because you can't be that mad unless hold on. We want to talk about the derby. Listen. We want to talk about the derby. We want to talk about the derby on Sunday. Yeah, you're talking to me about pitch invasion. You're talking about pitch invasion. Yeah, no offense, no disrespect. Yeah, but no big club. United have won trebles. They've won doubles. Players, the fans don't need to invade the pitch. Marcel, I'm gonna come to you because this guy's talking to me about pitch invasion. He's talking to me. No, but I'm saying I need that passion. I need that. In that stadium.
He's got a really interesting point in terms of the ambience, though. You know, Pep talking about it in a different way, but saying that, you know, you need the crowd, you know, especially at a home game, a derby match. And I was there, you know, the 6-3, I think it was. I was there, you know, at City, at the Etihad ground, you know, and I do understand in terms of the intimidating side of things, because you've got two tiers. The first tier, you've got a section of fans, and then the second tier above us, you've got another section of fans. So you've separated us. You know, at Old Trafford, it's everyone together kind of thing. So, yeah, there's an element of intimidation. I disagree with you, though, Hamza, in the sense of the style that Ten Hag's going to play. I think we could have beaten you guys at Old Trafford, even though we lost 3-0, because the way Ten Hag tries to impose his team, it's just we have inferior players to you, Hamza. That's the reality. We have an inferior squad in comparison to your superior squad. That's just a fact. So we lose that 3-0 at Old Trafford because of that element. You know, we tried to make changes and stuff, but the game offered us more of the opportunities, especially in the first 30 minutes or so. Scott McTominay, a few chances. I think Rashi, a couple other players had a few chances. The away fixture, which is what we have to focus on and what we're focusing on today, and I was there that game. We got bullied because of the ambience and the crowd and what you're talking about, Hamza, and what Pep wants from you guys. So we have to deal with that. But where I disagree with you is the style that Ten Hag will deploy. He won't deploy the pragmatic style. If he does, we get a result from you, though, Hamza. If Ten Hag does deploy the Liverpool performance, if Ten Hag does deploy the Burnley performance this season, the Fulham performance out away from home, the clutch. Those were, by the way, the Burnley was an away performance. It was clutch. It was counter-attack. Bruno scored against Fulham away as well. Away, it was clutch. It was pragmatic. It was counter-attack. We can get things because when we play the normal Ten Hag style against the top six, we just get beat. We just don't have superior players compared to the top four, let's say. But in this particular fixture at Etihad in Manchester, if we play the pragmatic style, like you said, Hamza, I think we get something. But Ten Hag just doesn't do that. He likes to find avenues to win. He's going to still try and demand a mid-block to a high press or on the halfway line football. And that's going to be where we suffer, potentially.
I think the thing is the difference between our team and your team, our players, they respect the club, they respect the fans, they have passion, they have standards. You're right. Like, I see they want to win. Your players don't respect your football club. I'll be honest with you. That's one thing.
When you say our United players don't respect them, is there anyone in particular?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I'll be honest. I think you've lost that. Like I tell from your captain doesn't respect the armband. Like the key thing about being a captain is being a leader and not allowing losses against small clubs or performance like that. A captain leads by example. A captain shouts. You can see his vocal. Sometimes captains are just they're there. Big games, they just get you that point. Like Gundogan was a different captain. He wasn't vocal, but on that pitch, he would be able to like raise his game. He would score the crucial goals when he needed against big teams. And you see that. Bruno Fernandes is not a captain. I'm sorry to say that. And if you're
Marcel, hold on. Do you agree? Because I know you're a big Bruno fan, and obviously Bruno's had a lot of criticism this season. But I have a theory that the reason why Erik ten Hag defends Bruno a lot, I think Bruno's been playing through an injury this season, but he doesn't want to be part of the long list of injuries, so he's playing through it to be available, because that's what fans always praise him for. Do you think Bruno is not captain worthy, or he doesn't deserve the armband? Or some people have been saying that the armband's too heavy for him.
So where I have to take what Hamza's saying with a pinch of salt is Hamza's in an era where he's used to winning, he's used to top caliber football, he's used to Champions Leagues, Premier League titles. So his version of a captain within that process is going to be levels above somebody that can't compete on his level, within the top 4 places. Our football heritage, as Mourinho has told us, has been in and around the 4th to 5th position, 3rd position at best, 2nd at best over 10 years. That's what Mourinho has told us as our football heritage, what we are. To know where you're going forward, you must know where you've come from. And that's where we've come from very recently. 10 years of very low level captains, very low level quality footballers. So I still think with the squad that we have and that we can deploy, Bruno is the best suited to lead that group of quality of footballers. Whether they're going to win anything and ascertain trophies is another question. The way that he does his captaining is within performance. The performance hasn't been there for any footballer this season, or to that standard, to the Man City standard who we're competing against coming on this weekend. And that's maybe our issue. But like you say, he's one of my favorite players. Does he hinder our style of football? And if we're trying to, we've taken Omar Barada from you, Hamza. So I feel like we're trying to emulate that kind of ilk of football, and understand that style of football. Is Bruno part of that? Would Bruno come into Man City's team and replace a KDB?
Hamza don't rate Omar Barada. He don't rate him.
Wow. And why is that, Hamza?
I just think the guys who led us to that top is the guys at Barcelona, the Ferran Soriano, Chikshi, those guys, they're the guys that were the head lead at City. These guys had been working with elite football clubs. They were at the top of the top. Like Soriano's a top of Barcelona, so we acquired a lot of players and coaches from Barcelona because of Soriano.
It was good business done before, I think.
Yeah, gaining Omar Barada by himself, who I don't. Okay, fair enough. We gave him that CV for that City, but we've lost people to Chelsea. We've lost a couple of people to Chelsea who have gone to Chelsea and they haven't elevated Chelsea at all. We've only seen Chelsea in decline. You need a big structure in place, and this is why I criticize United. I think the people that you're looking at is in the wrong area. You're focusing on some guys, like you talk about Dan Ashworth or whatever it is, but I'm talking about, I go for looking at this elite football club, Barcelona, when they're elite. Who made them elite? Who are there as a structure? Who are the people with Johan Cruyff that made that La Masia football club? And those guys that are Soriano and all that, are Real Madrid. Those guys that will be shopping there, those guys are proper elite. But United taking Omar Barada, who I thought he wanted a higher position, and Man City didn't want to guarantee, I think. And for us, we would needed to have brought Soriano out and put Omar Barada at the top. No chance. Because Soriano is the CEO of Barcelona. That's like elite.
I feel I can understand it to that degree, but like you mentioned, he's learned something from these. He's from the same school, and he's taking their knowledge and they're saying he's going into the same data as them, but he's not maybe the head guys that can take the credit from it. And you guys made a brilliant choice in bringing these people in before you even got Pep in. So that's why when Mina speaks on and says, you know what, so Jim Ratcliffe mostly has his main guy. He's bringing in these guys that are not maybe best in class to your level, Hamza, but they're still from the same school. And then even Daniel Ashworth, in our process right now, Hamza, we haven't got the millions that you guys have. We're doing this on a budget. And Dan Ashworth has been able to get players into the Premier League that can upscale their value, upscale the market value as well, the sell-on value.
Where did he used to work? Where did he used to work, Dan Ashworth?
Dan Ashworth. He's worked at Newcastle. You've seen the purchase. Again, we can't give them.
Brighton.
We can't give them.
Freaky at Brighton as well.
This is the problem. That's what I criticize. You see, that's what I criticize Chelsea. I said to Chelsea, when you had Roman Abramovich and he came in, I remember United had Peter Kenyon and you were meant to sign Robin. In summer, they went and take Peter Kenyon, who was a CEO at United. Wales United, the top club in England, top club. They went to, and I said to Chelsea, the biggest mistake was for you to go and shop at Brighton. You're not Brighton. Brighton mediocre. That's their level. I will never look at Brighton. I don't want people at Brighton. I'm sorry. I'm not looking down at Brighton. I don't look up at Brighton. Brighton's nobody to me. And this is what I said. Dan Ashworth is okay. What has he done? Brighton is not Man United. Man United is a club with history, club with pedigree, club they have delivered major trophies. You need proper elite, experienced winners at the top. No guys at Brighton to do the levels of Brighton is different to United. It's different to United. That's why I'll criticize that appointment. And I don't think he's someone that would worry. You know, people say, "Oh my God, where they getting Dan Ashworth?" So who's this Dan Ashworth? Where is he from? I look at his CV. Where are you from? Where have you come from? You come from Brighton. Listen, Brighton are number 8, 10. You're just the best team in south part of London, above Crystal Palace. But you're not that elite club, top 4. You're not like that elite.
I put some respect.
You're violated.
Brighton done nothing to you. What's your beef with Brighton? They ain't done nothing to you.
Because they Chelsea went and shopped there. They said, "Oh, we've got this guy from Brighton. All these guys they bought from Brighton." I said, "That's what you're suffering." When you went and got Peter Kenyon, he knew straight away. What did he do? I remember United were meant to sign January Robin and Essien, and it fell through because I remember you know me, I'm a United hater, so I write everything on United. And you know when you've been traumatized by a certain club, I remember every moment. So I remember Ferguson flying to Eindhoven, sealed a thing. Then he collapsed that in January, and Essien collapsed. And then 6 months later, Peter Kenyon's at Chelsea. Robin and Essien are signed. I'm thinking, hold on, these guys were meant to go to United. You see, and Kenyon was elite. He went there.
Let's focus at the task at hand. Yeah, let's not get distracted with what happened in the 2000s. Who are you supporting then, Hamza?
That's why I was researching your football club. I didn't have anything to research. I didn't have anything to hope for.
He had nothing better to do in the 2000s. He's saying he was researching. Listen, I don't know what Brighton did to you. I don't know what your beef is with them, but it's funny. People in the chat are saying that they agree with you, which is funny to me. But I think the thing with Dan Ashworth, and today it was actually mentioned, I think some news outlets were mentioning that it's potential that Ineos prefer Graham Potter. They're interested in him. They might move for him in the summer. Another, ex-Brighton connect. Obviously, this is just paper talk. But in terms of structure, Man City are in a place that a lot of, I think, other clubs are looking to be like, we need to replicate something similar in terms of their structure. I'm not saying Man City created it in the Premier League, because these sort of structures have existed many times before. United have had this kind of structure as well. But I don't think the idea of Dan Ashworth is the worst thing. I don't think it is, because he does a job. He's done his job. He's done it at Newcastle. He's done it at Brighton. Obviously, United is that step up. Would you say, Marcel, that for Umar Barada, going from Barcelona to City and then to Manchester United, because I would say Barcelona and United are the same level. I would say City was a step down.
Yeah, we could say definitely City's a step down. He was part of a group of high savvy business and footballing people, like what Hamza's mentioned, and they came in and put a perfect structure around a world-class manager that needed just the best talent to carry on his obsession with his style of football. I feel like we're trying to replicate the same thing. I understand Hamza's kind of notion of, you're not taking from the best trees. You're taking from, people that have worked at Newcastle and Brighton. These are not the best clubs. They don't have the best standards they don't know the caliber of football that's required to reach the top levels. I can respect that, but Dan Ashworth comes in and he purchases quality that has the upside value. not every single time, but a lot of the time, especially from what I've seen. And that's at 2 challenges, by the way. A challenge at Newcastle where I need you to get me talent that can push for top 4 now, or I need you to get me talent that can compete and stay within the top 4 at Newcastle. And then at Brighton, it's can you get talent that can evolve into a new style? And a lot of the styles under Potter and under De Zerbi has been possession based. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, they've got to be a good value and they've got to have upside potential. And he's shown that he's been able to deliver that. With Manchester United Football Club, in their current football heritage mode, where we're basically been playing at 5th place level for the last 10 years, on average, or 4th place level, we need a director of football and not the poor talent ID of all the current managers. Every single manager that has come into the club hasn't had brilliant talent ID, or at least the structure above them has failed in terms of purchasing of football players to help embark on their style of football. We found out amount of times Ole saying, "Oh, look, I couldn't get X player, Haaland, this, that, Jude." Mourinho wanted his Warriors that are all 30 plus, but we know if Mourinho gets his Warriors, he delivers trophies. He couldn't get them because of the structure above him. So we've now got into a circumstance where we have an opportunity to put a structure around this manager who's been able, for me, to give, Pep a little bit of trouble, give Klopp a little bit of trouble, give Arteta a little bit of trouble. With us knowing that this quality of squad is nowhere near better than any of those managers within at their stage of their process right now. Because at the beginning, none of those managers were brilliant. Pep wasn't brilliant at the beginning. Klopp wasn't brilliant at the beginning, and neither was Arteta. In fact, none of those 3 managers have achieved what my manager has achieved in his first season.
Pep wasn't good at the beginning.
No, he wasn't.
When did he
his 4th place finish? His 4th place finish, I think, was his first season.
The first season he came out from Barcelona B with lack of experience, making that Barcelona B one of the greatest B squads in Spain's history. Like, they accumulated most points than any other team. They were so good that they thought that team could have finished top 6 in La Liga. When they sacked Rijkaard, they thought, let's go Mourinho. Cruyff said, listen, there's a status there. Someone's there that I'm watching the football that he's playing at is incredible. The Barcelona B were highly rated in Spain. They say that's probably one of the greatest B squad they've ever had.
Yeah, I think Busquets was part.
He had to. His first season, he had to get. Listen, there's no managers that was going to get rid of Ronaldinho, Eto'o, and all that stuff. And to do that and say, Yaya Toure out, Eto'o out, Ronaldinho out. Listen, I'm taking that boy from Busquets. I'll take that little boy from Pedri from my Barcelona B, and to trust them and say, no, I want that Valencia boy to be a replacement for Eto'o, David Villa. People questioned it. Eto'o, how can you get David Villa? That guy, and then create the greatest team. You can't say that guy is.
Well, he attributes it all to Messi. Firstly, that's from his own mouth, and 2, he done all of that great history and cultivation for many decades, which I can attribute, I understand what you're saying there, but he came to Man City and was lost, for want of a better word. I can't give it a better word.
His first season
what my manager achieved. His first season at City. No, City. When
you're talking about City, I thought for City, he came at Man City, and I'll tell you one thing. I felt sorry for him because I thought, our team, we had Gail Clichy 34. We had Kolarov there as a backup. He was 35. We had Zabaleta, who was old. Bakary Sagna was old. We had guys like Mangala. Di Michaelis was old. He came in there, and I remember Joe Hart. The first thing he did, he said, Joe Hart, you're out. The whole England went mad. How dare you? England number 1. One of the best keeper England we've had for many years, since David Seaman. How can you do that? We've had people like Paul Robinson, Nigel Martin. They're not good enough. And he said, no, I'm making the right choice. You will see. People criticize. And he had to gel a different team. He said, I'm taking that little boy from Everton, from John Stones. I'll take this guy, Laporte. And he made his own team. He took KDB. He came there and he started benching Yaya Toure, Aguero on the bench. Big names. And people start questioning, how can you do that?
Who is his bad signings? Nolito, Mangala,
Mangala was not his signing. Nolito, he was Nolito. He played Fabian Delph left back.
Phillips.
Calvin Phillips, Nolito. There's another guy we saw, Negredo.
Yeah, Negredo, Mendy.
But that was 15, 80 million. And Mendy was just something, he was doing something else. But mainly Pep signings and mainly 40, 50 million. And he had to build the whole back line. Kyle Walker, John Stones,
Sorry to interrupt you, Hamza. Aren't we saying that, my manager's going through a similar thing? But
I mean, if we talk about, sorry, Marcel, to cut you, but you're talking about the signings, the first couple signings that he made. If you compare Ten Hag's first, say, 2 windows to what Pep spent in his first 2 windows, it's not that far apart for value. It's not that far apart.
Honestly, it's just because your club is a lot smaller than mine, Hamza. The lights are not shining on the process. And you guys can coin it the process because you had time to deliver it and all these and you had a structure in place beforehand, perfectly set up for Pep to carry on and having his tea and biscuits, which he always had. He had it at Bayern Munich. I wouldn't be surprised, Hamza, if Zhiki, I'm announcing the wrong name. I'm announcing it the name wrong. Sorry, Hamza. So forgive me. But the guys above in the structure that Pep had when he's at City and he had at Barcelona, I wouldn't be surprised if they were there or to that effect at Bayern Munich. Because he's always been able to have it set up correctly. Now, Mourinho said on the Obi-Wan podcast, and I have to keep quoting this to people, when we're talking about great teams, we're talking about money. We're talking about chairman's money as well. He says it on the Obi-Wan podcast, and he credits any successful team to the chairman's money. And he was talking about his successful team being Abramovich, and he said, Mr. Abramovich's money is the reason why I had a world-class team that I did at that time. And part of the process is understanding that you have to rely on your chairman and your structure to be able to keep pumping in the correct kind of money. And that it means having that Zhiki, that Pep, that all working in tandem. So you've had an advantage over the first couple of seasons. But my manager's done the exact same thing that your manager done in the first season. It's just that he's been more successful in the first season than your manager.
And funnily enough, just on his signings, it was very much one hit, one miss, one hit, one miss. It wasn't consistent hits. I'm just looking at his list of signings. His first summer transfer window, he brought in Aaron Moy on a free from Melbourne City. Don't know who the hell that is. He brought in Ilkay Gundogan. He brought in Elito, Sane, Moreno, Rulli, John Stones, Pablo Mari, and then Claudio Bravo. And then in the summer, he brought in Jesus and Bernardo. And then the following summer, he brought in Bernardo Silva. Then he brought in Edison. And then he brought in Kyle Walker. These are all players that are actually still essential or was essential to multiple trophies that he's won over the course of his time at Manchester City.
That's the thing that you look at him. You see not only the talent ID, but the way he develops players. You look, for example, Ten Hag. He bought 100 million Anthony. One of the worst Premier League signing in history. Probably will come down as one of the worst Premier League signing ever.
But he backs him. He backs him in the media every day. He defends him.
That's what I'm saying. You see players like that, you're thinking, you keep playing the guy. He's not having any performance in the game. Like, what does he do in the game? Like, literally, this guy has not performed. And to spend 100 million on this guy, it's a lot of money not to deliver. At one moment, they'll compare him to Jack Grealish.
Isn't it similar?
Yeah, Sancho, 80 million. That's a lot of money. Look at that.
He didn't buy him. Ten Hag didn't buy him. United brought him. United brought Sancho.
So what, did he come in Ten Hag era?
No, Ole.
He came on Ole.
You look at other players that he's bought. How many players he's bought? He's bought Malacia. I hardly see this guy. Where's this Malacia?
He's out injured, but he played a bit last season.
Yeah, and was good.
Has he been good? Has he been good?
Yes.
No, he was only good for a couple of games. You look at another signing that he signed. Who's next? Who's this Moroccan guy on loan that you guys said that if he comes to our team?
Amrabat played fantastic against you, Hamza. At home at Old Trafford, he played fantastic against you.
He wasn't fantastic. He had to be taken off. He was substituted because he had a bad game. He was so bad that he got substituted at half-time. Because he had a bad game.
No, but do you know what? The only reason why I'm going to intercede on that, Hamza, is because the moment he changes, giving us a structural DM and then put Scott McTominay in the DM, that's when the floodgates started opening. So even though Hamrabat, I saw him on the floor by Jack Grealish spun him, he was on the floor a couple of times in that game. You lot had a rubbish penalty, by the way, offered him. That game, we should not have lost 3-0, Hamza. I'm really, really sorry to say. I think we should have got points out of that game at home. But the Amrabat structurally, because he's naturally a DM, the way he was positioning himself, he was still kind of plugging up the gaps. And you just had a measly penalty. I think we go in at 1-0 at halftime. Ten Hag tries to then make the forward change and tries to impose ourselves on the game even more, leaves Scott in the DM and takes out Amrabat because, okay, he wasn't playing brilliantly, but he was keeping the door closed, basically. And then the floodgates start open and you got Scott McTominay in the DM. City win 3-0.
Yeah, I think we were quite superior because we had the ball possession, we had the unlock, and I think you guys. The thing is, there's one thing I have to criticize Ten Hag: no style of play.
Before we get into that, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Let me quickly go through some super chats. Big up to Mohammed with the super chat. Says, "Get ready, weekend United fans. Low, you look worried." Big up to Big Game Player. Says, "Marcel, Dune 2 settings." I didn't know what that meant. I had to Google it. Apparently, that's a movie that's just come out.
Is it
dressed like some people from the movie?
Is it? So someone says I look like Yoda. I've seen something up there.
They're liking the drip. I think they're liking the drip. Hamza, land your point. You just said Ten Hag. Your problem is that Ten Hag has no style of play.
No style of play. This guy, listen, when he came to United, I said to everyone before, because listen, I live in South London now in Croydon. And there's a similar manager that came here, Frank, by the name of Frank de Boer. For Eredivisie, yeah? This guy tried to play tiki-taka with Crystal Palace, yeah? 5 games, sacked, out. Never seen a game. Went to Inter Milan. I warned everyone. I said, listen, take this guy with a pinch of salt here. Be very careful about this Eredivisie hype because Steve McLaren has won it. He's come here last season. There were games that he was just game. And you're thinking, like Carling Cup, he went through to the final by facing easy teams. Like it was Charlton and Middlesbrough and I thought, hold on, he got to the final. Newcastle had a better style of play against him in the final, but Newcastle lost. Fair enough, he took the cup. But then you see his style of play last season. Getting the results. United fans were happy with that. But second season is catching up because no one knows how he plays. Even his players don't know how he plays. Now it's so bad. I'll tell you what, it's so bad for this guy that this guy, I believe, I said it to everyone and I sensed it long time ago. I said, he's lost the dressing room. I said, why? I said, I see this guy losing 1 or 2-0. He's just there, no emotion. Meaning, don't you get angry? Don't you show passion? Klopp, do you see how they run? Come this side. They're saying something. They're looking at the game. They're telling players, come. Pep's involved in the game. You think he's on the pitch. This guy, he doesn't say anything. He stands there. You're losing 2-0. You're losing. He just got there. Check him. I'm thinking, you're supposed to be the leader. You're supposed to encourage. You're supposed to tell them what to do. What's their play? How many times did you see Ferguson running on the pitch? You remember how many times he used to run on the pitch, shout at the referee, whatever. This guy, no emotion, no connection. There's no connection between him and the players. I'm telling you now. There's no connection. And I believe some players are just playing, which is just, and you're getting this result. Some of you are telling me, you got a lucky one against, before Fulham, you got a lucky one against a couple of teams. People are telling Luton, you got a lucky one there. But you guys couldn't see it. No. Oh, we're winning. Oh, he seems he's not building something. There's no way. Are you just doing a counter-attack football? So I don't see this. Oh, he's going to include that Barcelona, the Ajax tiki-taka, what he did with Frankie de Jong and Delete and all this stuff. I didn't see that. We've not seen that. Yeah? He's realized pressure's on him now. Pressure is on him now. You can see he doesn't speak the way he used to speak before.
Marcel, do you agree? Marcel,
there's nothing he does. He tells you that's interesting. Tell me his press conference. What do you learn from Ten Hag?
Can I just say one thing I don't like is when, and I've been guilty of this in the past, is that people criticize for Ten Hag for maybe things that he lacks in personality or something. But I just think that's whacking it. Maybe that's not to run up and down the touchline. Maybe that's not his style. Maybe, like, I'm being honest, and this is not even me like capping or anything, guys. The way people talk about him in press conferences or on the touchline, or maybe that's just not his personality style. Maybe that's not, like, this might be me generalizing, yeah, but European people have a very different personality when it comes to in comparison to British people or South Americans, etc. For example, he was criticized when he first came in. He was criticized for the way he speaks in press conferences. Yeah, he was criticized for the way that he speaks because he's very blunt. He's a very blunt person. He kind of says it how it is. He says it how it is, and that is just a European style of talking. That's how Europeans are. They are very blunt. British people, unfortunately, beat around the bush a lot. They're very much like they don't want to address certain things. They'll find a nice way to kind of say it. And I think it's just whack to be like, oh, he doesn't show any passion on the touchline. Oh, he's
the
not
only
like...
guys that don't show passion in the touchline, Graham Potter, Roy Hodgson. Look where they are.
Roy Hodgson is literally 87,000 years old. The guy is literally, he's old.
No, but you
if he shows passion, he might just drop dead.
You're losing at the game. You're losing at Old Trafford. You're losing at... I don't see... And even press conferences. Be honest. Tell me any United fan that literally listened to his press conference.
I watch his press conferences.
And you really come out there and think, oh my God, oh, I enjoy it.
No, sometimes I don't agree with him. But I'll never criticize him for the way he speaks and the way he addresses stuff, because that's just how he speaks. Some people might watch me and think, what the hell, bro? This girl, 1 minute she sounds gangster, next minute she sounds like a fob. That's just how I speak. I'm never going to criticize him for the way that he speaks or the lack of personality or the lack of character he shows, because that's just how he is. You know who got criticized for this? I don't know if you remember, Marcel. Aaron Wan-Bissaka was criticized for this in the press like a couple months ago, where they said, oh, Aaron Wan-Bissaka did media duty for Manchester United on pre-season and he was very like sharp and he gave dead answers kind of thing. And everyone knows Aaron Wan-Bissaka ain't really a talker like that. The guy doesn't have much personality. He's a very quiet person. He gives me introverted vibes. There's no reason for me that the media should criticize him for that, because that's how he is. When you're a footballer or a manager, you never signed up to be flipping influencer of the year. It doesn't mean you have to have personality and you have to have character, but you have to be likable to players and likable to fans. And some fans like that about Ten Hag, and I'm pretty sure a lot of his players don't have a problem with it. I'm pretty sure. That's the only thing I'm going to defend Ten Hag on. I'm going to leave Marcel to defend the tactics part.
Okay, so really interesting of what you both said there, Mina and Hamza. I think style of play, he does have one, and I'll come to that in a second. I learned so much from his press conferences, Hamza. That's where I learned a lot about Ten Hag. In terms of his personality, I agree with a lot of what people are saying in terms of the charisma style of things, but his command of English is not brilliant. That's his issue. That's his crux. That was maybe Klopp's issue at the beginning. That was maybe Pep's issue at the beginning. That's what's going to be their issue at the beginning, learning this language. There's so many ways to say the same thing in this stupid language. So it's like, you know, it's giving them, they're going to be at the arbitrary level of it. You know, wait until 5 and 6 years, you're going to see him a lot more expressive and dynamic. Just on Saf though, Hamza, Saf used to be chilling on the bench with his chewing gum. He'll be sending other men to scream out and scream and shout towards the latter side of his career anyway. Maybe not when he was as young. He used to come up and say something, but Ten Hag does do that sometimes. I think the reason why for the most of the time he's very reserved, like you guys are saying, is because he's just extremely patient. He sets up his one game plan, Hamza, and that is it, you know, and his substitutions are either to make that formation more defensive and shut up the shop, or to make it more risky and take more. He's like what Sir Alex said he used to do, gamble. He's trying to, Scott McTominay has to come on, gamble, you know, try and attack the spaces in the forward line, get the ball into the forward line quickly. But his style of play is very, very simple to me, Hamza, and I've been saying it for a long time, and I've added a new term to it, but it's got turnovers, transitions, and build-up. And the new term of it is ball regains. So that's like in every single moment of the game, if you look for those things with the triangles that people talk about, or the passing patterns, the underlaps and overlaps, all these little terms, and we should be playing Hamza on the halfway line. When we can play against teams that are better than us, you won't see that. So again, it's away from the style, from the Barcelona way, from the Man City way. You guys have been dominating football. I don't like saying it, but you get and the Liverpool way to a degree, the heavy metal football, but on the halfway line. They like to play it heavy metal football, engine, not technical midfielders like you guys, engine midfielders that just dogs run for days to connect the forward line, lots, and they're more vertical than us. Liverpool, they're extremely vertical with the way they attack. So you guys are a lot more patient. But we're trying to blend the two styles. But we've not. For the last 5 years, we don't have a squad that's anywhere near it. Just anywhere near it, Hamza. And you have to understand that, you know, a lot of what you're seeing is the fruits of money to a degree. You have the ability to purchase the best quality, the footballer that can do exactly what the manager tells him to do in exactly the way, in exactly. So it's like we're dealing with footballers that just have been incapable of doing that, downing tools for years now, Hamza.
But you can see, let me say, criticism he takes. Like, I'll be honest with you, I don't know, you see, a lot of United fans don't enjoy watching United anymore. They don't enjoy it. And I think, I don't know why, that Ole used to play this kind of pragmatic of counter-attack, let's run, and it used to work because he used to beat Pep Guardiola. Yeah? And he wasn't credited for that. He was said, oh, it doesn't matter, he doesn't have experience. They threw him under the bus. Mourinho was like, yeah, it's boring. Van Gaal, listen, he doesn't attack enough. In fact, United fans used to call attack. This guy, I see United fans, they're not happy. They come out the game. Not many fans are happy, even outside the stadium. He's getting criticized. Yeah, results are not showing up because you can see you got better players than those opposition, but Fulham are playing more. They're playing better. They can connect better than you. The way they move, the way they pass the ball, you can see that manager with lack of resources of Fulham players. They have lack of resource, complete lack of resources. They're able to play a style that Ten Hag can't play.
Hamza, what is easier to do? Sit back with 11 players behind the ball at all times in your half, or like what you've been seeing for the last 4 or 5 years, play in the opposition's half on the halfway line with all your 11 footballers and trying to score and control a game? Isn't that a harder style and a harder road to embark on within a 90-minute story? That what Ten Hag wants us to do every story within the 90 minutes is play on the opposition's half of the pitch, just like Man City, just like Liverpool, just like the top teams in the league. That's what dominating the football match is, Hamza.
I don't see that. I see mostly he sits back and he waits, and it's all about let's counter, let's go. I go quick players. Haaland, Rashford is quick. Yeah, just kick that ball quickly to them and run and try and take advantage of that. That's what I see. I don't see this nice, beautiful. I don't see the Ajax that they used to play. I see just counter-attack football. That's why he relies on Rashford. That's why he relies on Garnacho, fast pace.
We're gonna talk about Rashford quickly. Just gonna get some of these super chats done. This name is killing me. I can't even read it. Big belly, bold head. Kevin Gary's #1 fan says, not ready for Hamza's TikTok after we get smoked.
Yeah.
Big up to Koala with the contribution. If you want to send in super chats, guys, with any comments, any questions, you can do exactly that. Be sure to hit the like button if you've just come through. Somebody in the chat asked, what's everyone's thoughts, obviously, about the Marcus Rashford interview? I remember Pep yesterday actually said in his press conference that one of the few players he would have from Manchester United is Marcus Rashford. Something is telling me that he might have a good game. I don't know. I have a feeling he might have a good game.
Number 39 Rashford at Man City was really good, and number 19, I think it was the number before this number 10. He's usually really good and he's really competitive, but just his performance, it's just weird. I don't know what is going on with him, and even with this, what he's released, it's actions are always going to be louder than words, always in this existence. So what I'm seeing for his actions is not matching up to the words that have just come. So I need to see the new set of actions after these words. But even the previous words with Gary Neville, saying that he's a 35 to 40 goal, season man and that he can achieve such a thing. He's, the actions haven't proved that this season. So we've got an issue with his actions and his words here. That's just evident with Rashford. How long you're willing to go with that is just how long you're willing to be obsessed with the player right now, kind of thing. We should maybe cut our ties ages ago. But in there is a world-class footballer. Like I said, how many times I've coined this, Mina, but he has the world-class purple patch. So in there is a world-class footballer. In, a span of 10 games, he can get 20 goals. In a span of, 15 games, he can put together 18 goals. But throughout a 38-game season, plus cut, plus, it's just something's not right. I don't know what it is. But when you wear, the shirt that, Dennis Law and these man, and forget them, man, back then. Wayne Rooney just had this shirt, and you're nothing even 1% like it. It's just an issue. So Ineos have to look at this, and again, the reason why I wouldn't get rid of Ten Hag is part of that. You know, the decision making on Rashford, the option to understand Rashford as a player. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? But Ineos have to prove a lot to us, and with this Rashford thing, you know, I hope we either sell him this summer or he turns up for the
next.
Just
a quick question, just on Rashford. Obviously, he came through in a similar way that I guess Phil Foden came through Manchester City's academy. But I think Phil Foden has been lucky to be coached by a manager, whereas Marcus Rashford, if Eric Ten Hag leaves now, I think that's Marcus Rashford's 5th or 6th manager that he would have had at the age of 26. He's had Van Gaal, he's had Jose, he's had Oli, he's had Ragnick, he's had Ten Hag. So if Ten Hag leaves, that will be his 6th manager.
Plus Carrick, plus Giggs,
plus all the interims,
Ralph.
if you want to count them. If you want to count the interims that had 1 or 2 games, we can count them too. But essentially, full-time managers, he will have his 6th one at the age of 26, 27. Do you think that has impacted the trajectory of his career in comparison to Phil Foden? Because I see the Phil Foden discourse all the time. Foden, Saka. I see people saying, me and Hamza have sat here. Hamza has said to me that Foden is a better young player. Like, he's the best English youngster since, but even better than Wayne Rooney was at a younger age. Do you remember, Hamza, when you said that?
No, I said, yeah, I know. But that one,
you can't deny it.
I apologize. Don't kill me. No, I said Rooney was what I was saying. Like, you're right. Rashford has had like Matthias Nunes we signed. I said to City fan, be patient with him, because he's had like 5 managers in Wolves. Like, a manager comes in, tells him, this is how you play. The next after that, this is how you play. Oh, you're right. It affects I rate Rashford very highly. But I just think he's not happy. He's not happy at United. There's a lot of players who are not happy at United. There's a lot of things you guys will find out about what's happening at United until something is happening at United that you guys don't know. There's a lot of players that are not getting along with the manager. There's a split camp probably. Maguire, he got attacked by the manager. He wasn't being played. Now he's playing. Do you think these guys trust Ten Hag? I think Rashford is not a happy player. You can see Rashford, when he's good, he's very, very good. He's very, 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 very good talent. He's an English talent. Like, I can't believe the guy scored 2 goals in his first debut. The guy can beat players. He's going to Champions League and score goals. He's good at pace. He can dribble. He can curl the ball. But you're wondering, why are you not controlling the ball? Why are you miscontrolling? Why are you kicking it far? It's a lot about football. Footballers need to be happy. When you go to the pitch, you need to have something good outside football. You need to come into a dressing room where there's a good atmosphere. There's nice and there's love. You see its atmosphere in this, probably in the dressing room. People are smiling. People are joking with each other. What did Nunes say? Whenever you're down, you can't be down at City. They always joke. They always play games. We're always playing games to try and unify the squad together. In United, I just see single individuals. Rashford has a different camp. This guy, Garnacho, is his friend. He's got his friend Haaland, has got his friend Maguire, and and these guys are there. So it's not like a happy camp. It's not a happy atmosphere. It's very toxic. Look at the players. Look at the players. Do you believe United players have got the unity as much as City players? Do you think they're happy?
No, but this is not Ten Hag's fault.
Look how long City players have been together.
Yeah, this is not Ten Hag's fault, Hamza. This is
a manager, it's the leader. It's a manager that's supposed to come into a dressing room and say, yo, we got issues here. But the problem is the manager has fought with so many players, and a lot of these guys, let me tell you, in football, they're friends. They're friends outside. They're friends outside football. So he's thinking, you treated CR7 like that. You treated Sancho like that. I don't trust you. I'm next. Maguire saying, yo, you did me over. McTominay. Yeah, McTominay is saying he knows his crap, right? He has to be happy and play. But other players are thinking, okay, the only players who I can see is these youngsters. Oh, I'm being given a chance like Garnacho. I need to perform. But these senior players are not unified. They don't come there, really love coming to your training and loving to play for United. I don't believe that. I think part of the
I agree with you. I agree with you. But this is now, I always go to this. This is football heritage issue. And before football heritage issue, because I'm going to keep doing it until it gets into everybody. But before the football heritage, it's the open heart surgery. So that's why there's discourse, because there's open heart surgery needed right now, Hamza. Maguire was told he surplus the requirements last season. The structure failed us to get rid of him. Scott McTominay is surplus to requirements last season. The structure failed us to get rid of him. You know, the reason why we've been doing all these, low levels, the Zidane Iqbals, this player, that player, all these these floor raising players are being sold because the structure has been failing us, because football people have raised up the FFP bill over the last 3 years. One of those years, not Ten Hag's year, and have got it to this money situation with FFP. So we can't be effective in the market. By the way,
we're not cheaters. We're not
cheaters. Two January windows where we had to get a Weghorst and just loanees, rubbish quality. The fact that we've had to go into the free market and get an Ericsson on a free instead of adding to the squad when we could have throughout that summer window. All of these things are not Ten Hag's fault. The way he's handled them has been profound, though, Hamza. The way he's handled the Sancho situation was completely correct. Completely. You would never. You talk about the era that you're from, Hamza, and I'm close to it. But for argument's sake, I'm going to say I'm 22 on the internet. But at the end of the day, the era that we've come from, Hamza, the players could never speak out in the way that Sancho has done. When a manager has only said what the manager said, I've heard Poch say things this season. I think I've even heard your manager say things about Phillips this season, more damning things than what my manager said about Sancho. So Sancho's conducted himself in a disgraceful manner. The most.
Do you think so? I just think the way he handles Sancho, I blame completely Ten Hag on that fault, because I'll tell you one thing. I'll give you an example. When Ferguson had an issue, when United played Middlesbrough, see, I remember because I watched it only once. Roy Keane was on Sky Sports. Yeah, he was injured, and they were commentating, but he was part of the pundit. So you guys lost, I believe, that game. And Roy Keane, part of your team, and he was your captain, he criticized your team players, including Rio. He criticized. What did Ferguson do? Kick him out. Straight. Because he said, what's supposed to be in the dressing room, we must keep it within the dressing room. If there'd been an issue with Sancho, all he needed to do, professionalism. You don't say, oh, he's not been trained. You just say, no, he's not well. He's injured. That's what you do. You cover up. They've always said at work, you cover up for your colleagues. You don't just explore and shame up your colleagues. It doesn't bring anything good. There's no benefit of you shaming someone up.
All he said was he's not been performing in training.
Exactly, but that's bad. What was the benefit?
Poch said it about one of the Chelsea players recently. Yeah. Your own manager has said it about Jack Grealish recently.
The problem is, I understand. My manager has got the trophies already. He's got the whole camp for him. He's got most of the players on his side. He can kick out one guy. But the problem is, when you have fought Ronaldo, CR7, when you fought another guy already, you're coming to a camp where you're losing games. And what was the need for you? What was the benefit? You have to look at what was the benefit of you saying in front of camera? What did you gain? Nothing. Other than what? I smiled. I was happy he said it. I, as a rival, was happy because I want to see your camp split. I want your fan split between Sancho and him. I want that war. As a fan, that's what I want. I want a Ten Hag pro camp, and I want. But in Man City, what do? They will come for Calvin Phillips. Yo, Peppers delivers the trophy. Yo, we don't mind. You're going out. Cancelo, you're out.
So is your point that your point is that Pep has basically trophies to stand on?
Yeah, he's clever. He's a very clever man. He's got the whole. And when he came to Barcelona, he knew. People say, look what he did to Eto'o. He knew? The Barcelona, the DNA were the guys from Catalonia. Xavi, Busquets, Iniesta, Villa. They're Spanish players. So he can kick out Eto'o. What's Eto'o going to do? They're Spanish players who are going to stand on his side. And they stood by him. And they kicked him out, and he still became successful. Because he knew you don't fight. It's like you going out there and you got more. You can't fight with hyenas. Multiple, they'll eat you. You can fight with one, but you don't go and fight with everyone and think that you can. And that's what Ten Hag is, very, very naive. And that's part of football. When you're a leader, when you're a manager, there's things that you should conduct yourself. You should be smart. You should be smart. And I think he's conducting himself very badly.
Marcel, quickly before you address that, big up to Riri, gifted 10 memberships. Big up to Riri. Let me see who actually got the memberships in the chat. Koala, Steffi, Show, Pyramid Scheme, Big Game Player. I can't read my screen. Fabio, Splashnet, Sham, CB, and Nikhil. Big up to Riri. If you don't want to join the membership gang, you can as well if you didn't get gifted one. If you've got any questions, any comments. I can't believe so many people in the chat are saying they agree with Hamza. Do you know how mad that is? That people are agreeing with Hamza. Today, he's not... People aren't looking at him like he's a madman that's just spewing madness on the stream. If you have any questions, any comments, you can send them in with super chats. Marcel, just quickly, obviously, he said that Ten Hag's naive. Do you think Ten Hag is going to approach the game on Sunday as a naive game, or do you think he's going to approach it to get a result, to try and get 3 points?
Yeah, so Ten Hag is naive because, like all managers in their teething period, when they first get to the league, they know nothing about the league. So Ten Hag thought that his talent ID was good enough for the league, just like Pep did, just like Klopp did. They all found out that their talents at the beginning, the Nolitos, Bravo was a poor signing for Pep. He made a mistake taking Joe Hart out and bringing Bravo in. But that's depending on how you look at the game of football. Because for me, that's not a mistake. He started as he meant to go on. He needed a technical goalkeeper, so he starts there. Just like how I was saying, get rid of David De Gea. It's too traditional. We need to start with so at least we know, okay, the technical level, that's okay, we need an improvement on this, but don't substitute this. So that's one part. He's naive in that sense. He's naive. He's patient. I call it patient. He's extremely patient because he doesn't set up his team in a naive way, I guess. But he's only learnt this season about respecting the opponent. And what I mean by that is when the teams in the top 4 play pragmatic football, just forget it. We know we're not better than them. Play the pragmatic football now. Do it now, Ten Hag. And he's done that against Liverpool, and it's derived something. He tried to go machine for machine against Arsenal away from home, and we nearly won the game. Garnacho, that's still a goal to me. And that, the Declan Rice thing that happened at the end, and Jesus, whatever, 3-1, we left the game. Again, against City at home, I think the way Ten Hag's naive because he doesn't respect the opponent and he doesn't do the Jose Mourinho 0-0, play for it 0-0. Ten Hag's out here and he tries to win the game with the 11 footballers that he has, knowing that they're inferior. He must know. Surely he knows that they're inferior compared to the top 4 opponent, whoever they are. But that's how he's naive. In terms of his man management, or his squad management, I should say, not man management, his squad management, from CR7 all the way to Donny van der Beek, all the way to the new version of Maguire now, Sancho, any player, you name me, even Rashford, the way he's handled it a little bit differently to others. Ten Hag has not made I say it again, he's not made one poor man management, squad management decision. The way he handles these squad is the right way. And if we allow him to go further into his process, he will have a patterned squad. And what I mean by that is because the way that they have not been able to get past him right now, and he still has a grip on the squad, when he gets rid of the deadwood, Maguire, Sancho, Scott, Bruno or Rashford have a decision to make in their careers, and if they're hungry enough to play for this club, but they will get moved on if we get into 4 years or 5 years under Ten Hag. They will definitely be gone. Wan-Bissaka, all these men that we were talking about down to Luke Shaw, all these men that we're talking about, man, that down tools and this and that and don't have the ability. And by the way, the football heritage shows they don't win Premier League titles and they don't get in Champions League finals. So once Ten Hag is able, under Ineos' structure, to get these type of footballers in, the ones that are going to show the level, you're going to see a completely different... It's going to be kumbayas and songs and dance and songs of praise. And
but do you think that he's going to set United up to get a result this weekend? And hold on. Do you think United are going to win? Because I think it was last week when I was talking to you, and you said you think United will beat City.
Yes, I do think so. But I think Man United will beat City if I was managing Manchester United, which sounds crazy. It sounds crazy, man. I really do. I really know. But I got to separate the two now.
That means you don't rate Ten Hag. Bro, that means you think you're a better manager than Ten Hag.
You don't trust. No. You believe your managerial skills will be better than Ten Hag on the pitch, and that shows already that this guy.
No. It just shows that I have a little bit more respect for City than Ten Hag does. Or it
do you believe he doesn't respect City?
No. Let me just land it. It just shows that it's like the way Ten Hag's doing this thing. I'm gonna continue to do my process exactly. I'm gonna continue doing turnovers, build up, and ball regains and transitions, and I will always alter between how I should set them up, two in the forward line doing the press, or if I'm gonna do the one in the forward line conservative football. Do you know what I'm trying to say? If you lot follow what I'm saying there, I'm not trying to say I'm better manager than Ten Hag. It's just that the way he does the management thing, he wants to win every single game. So he's gonna set them up he's gonna take risks against City.
So how would you go? Hold on. So how would you beat City?
Yeah, I'm just about to explain it. Just about to explain it. Okay. How I would beat City now is I would do the Ole playbook, the Mourinho playbook, which is something that Ten Hag rarely does. He only done it this season against Burnley and Fulham away and Liverpool away. But I would personally go into the Ole bag and the Mourinho bag because that's the players he's going to be having to his disposal to compete in this game. He's not going to have players that are capable of playing, like I was talking to you before, Hamza, about. That's a harder task. Playing on the halfway line in your half, Hamza, is a harder task than playing how Fulham had to play against us, which is in their half, or Forest is in their half, and counter us. Forest had about 10 counters in that game. And that's why we're saying, their style of football looks so good and their patterns. And they had it from a position of, when we get this ball, everybody run and do their thing. Just go and do their thing. Whereas us, it's like we have a deliberate system of playing on the halfway line. And that's what makes, and then these footballers are not capable of doing that, playing from the halfway line. So we have this issue. So again, I'll just say it one more time. Against City, the way I would do it is the pragmatic football, the Mourinho and Ole football. Ten Hag, unfortunately, is not going to do this. Does that mean I'm a better manager than him? No, because really and truly, we should be playing that way. We should be playing.
And he should know this. He's got experience. He's got experience. And the problem is you look at him, you think, hold on. The amount of money you spent is a lot of money so far. Yeah. You should not be there. Forget Chelsea. I'll talk about you because you're going to look what Chelsea's done. Yeah. Chelsea obviously is the worst project in sporting history, I believe. Spending 1 billion and being 11th is a joke. But the amount of players he's brought, the amount of signing he's been backed with, they shouldn't be there. You shouldn't go to Newport County. Yeah. Bunch of jokers. Newport County played in the FA Cup. And these guys are in the third division, and you struggled against them.
Can I say why? Can I say why?
Aston Villa away, who are having a bad patch. Okay, fair enough, you beat them. Wolves away, you beat them. Yeah, you go to games that you've been performing. Nottingham Forest away, you lost. West Ham away, you lost. You lost to Bournemouth, beat you 3-0. You think elite manager who spent a lot of money. What excuses do you need to make? You can't. You lose 3-0 to Bournemouth at home. Like, if I lost Bournemouth at home, I'm going crazy. Pep Guardiola. How do I lose Bournemouth? How do I lose to Bournemouth? So, for Marcel to back a manager who's had that performance, like even Newport County, there's the jokes that everyone thought, oh my God, I can't believe even Newport County. And I'm seeing this. For a manager who's been back to, how much money has he spent? 500 million? 500 million?
400, yeah.
400 million. And this second season. And the guy is still struggling against side. He's so unpredictable. United are going to games believing more likely they're going to lose than they're going to win. United fans, it's the first time that they're thinking, oh my God. United fans are not confident saying, oh, I'm definitely, that one's a win. 100% that's a win. 100%. It's all about, okay, if I show you the fixtures, if I say to you against City, you're doubting. If I say, okay, you're going to play, after that, you're going to play Everton at home. Some of you say, okay, still Everton's a hard team. Brentford away, you're not sure. Chelsea away, you're not sure. Liverpool away, you're not sure. Bournemouth away, you're still not sure. Newcastle at home, you're still not sure. Palace away, you're not sure. These are all the games that's coming up that you're not 100% confident. Which one are you going to win? 100% you can say, I'm definitely winning that game. 100%.
We're not. Well, unfortunately, you know. And again, I bring it just to the Mourinho. To what Mourinho said, we have to hold on to this and understand it. And that's what the fans have missed. It's like we forget that Mourinho existed and told us that we've not been good for years. Wake up. And then, but we go to sleep and then think that we're meant to think against City that we're going to win that game. But then there's me contradicting myself by thinking that we're going to win the game. But I have my own kind of premise of in which we win that kind of game. But we have to understand that Mourinho told us that we've never been these guys anymore, guys. Wake up. So once you get that wake up call, you start to realize and you reevaluate where we are as a football
When's
club.
the wake up call then? When's the wake up call?
Well, the wake up call
should have been 7-0 against Liverpool. That should have been the wake up call.
Well, it's not. It's not because the reason why it's not because we're now the wake up call is the gutting out of the team and the structure above the manager. For 10 years, there's been no structure of manager, and for 10 years, it's been very much the similar kind of team, Mina and Hamza. We really have to deep that. I know he spent 400 million, but even when we think about the market, 400 million is nothing. You know, Chelsea spent $1 billion and are below us. You know, at 400 million, it's really not the big issue here. The mitigating circumstances of the injuries are because a lot of the time, Ten Hag's had to revert back to the counter-attacking style footballers or the ones that have done it under previous managers and still try and play his front foot halfway line football. So it's like, you know, we have to understand these mitigating circumstances really properly and really understand that we're going through a rebuild as well. We haven't given that time to rebuild anything.
Hypothetically speaking, if we were to, I hate doing combined 11s, yeah, but if we were to do a combined 11, Marcel, do you think there's any United player that could be part of that combined 11?
Well, firstly, I think we can beat City the game. I said 3-2. I think it's going to be a 3-2 game, hopefully a classic, and it will require something like that. Who gets into that team? It depends. Both managers, their nature is possession style. I wanted to rattle everyone and say Bruno, but he just doesn't get in there over maybe a KDB or Bernardo. Or look at just the quality that we're reeling off when we're talking about City players. So depending on how you feel, Rashford is better than Phil Foden, I would say, when he's on song. And depending on the position that Pep deploys him in, if the Pep deploys Foden on the wide, I just don't think he's better than Rashford on the wide. But if you deploy...
Is that not where he's been playing all season? Has he not been playing on the right?
Foden's so that's why I would put Rashi in. That's why in a combined 11, I would put Rashi in. But I'm just kind of giving you the counter argument already before people jump on me. So it's like, I would put Rashi in there. I would put... That's about it. The low's been all right, but Kyle Walker's your guy's right back, innit, Hamza?
Yeah, Kyle Walker's our right back.
So he's not been the best this season, but
he's levels above at the low.
Yeah, I'm basing it on this season. I'm not basing it on entirely.
Who's playing your left back? Who's playing left back?
God knows. Yes,
God knows who's playing at left back. That is, we will all find out on Sunday.
Maguire. What's the expected lineup?
I don't think he wants Maguire. It's going to be Varane and Lindelof.
Lindelof or Varane and maybe Evans.
Varane. I want Varane to play.
Why? Varane is one of the best centre-backs.
No, but we never will play against him. That's the guy I want to play. I prefer to play.
Like Wasn't it Luke Shaw that pocketed Haaland last time?
Yeah, Luke Shaw pockets Haaland.
Yeah, but Luke Shaw's playing.
He's injured, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, Haaland was going through a bad patch. Now Haaland's... The thing
he's going through a bad patch. The guy just scored 5 goals in one game.
I know, he went through a bad patch. The deadly combination is KDB and behind him is Haaland. And that's what I want. I think the thing is your manager, you're not sure who your manager is going to play. This guy doesn't even know. You guys don't even, that's the problem. Your manager, you're not even sure about your manager.
Now, I think it's not because we're not sure about the manager. It's because of injury. It's because of injury.
Yeah, it's not his fault.
Who's your lineup? Tell me your lineup. Most likely lineup. I can tell you most likely lineup.
Because you got a fully fit team.
No,
you got a fully fit team. You can tell me your starting 11 because you've had a regular starting 11. You've had a regular back line. You know Rodri's going to play. Just KDB's been in and out with injury. Haaland sometimes might miss one game in a while. Grealish has been out. The manager was going to play him anyway. The manager was cussing him the other day saying he ain't playing.
And you're lucky Grealish is not playing, I swear. You're lucky. No, I'm saying, seriously.
We're lucky that Grealish is not. You guys are lucky that Grealish is not playing.
Like City fans, I've been telling City fans, Grealish is good. He carries the ball. He drags players out the game. This is the players I love. Keeping the ball. He tracks back. Doku doesn't. In fact, if I had to tell you a secret, Doku is a weak link. He doesn't track back. How many times have you seen Pep shouting at him and saying, get back? So if I was United, I'll say, Doku is good attacking, but if he loses the ball, counter-attack him because you can double up on him. That's where our weakness is. That's where City are looking at. Obviously, Imran's saying predict the game. I'm not going to predict because whenever I predict, they'll win.
Is it?
Man, I'm not predicting that.
Was that what one time last season you predicted that you?
I did a Chelsea one. I said I'm going to beat Chelsea 4-0. I'm going to give them a beat. Oh, it's painful twice, man. Oh, no, I can't predict.
So what are you saying? No predict. This is the Etihad.
No,
this is your home.
no.
This is your home stadium. We're gonna see Hamza on Sky Sports on Sunday waving the flag in the crowd like this, starting the atmosphere. Just trying to get the crowd going.
Will be Kyle Walker, John Stones, Ruben Diaz, Nathan Ake. Yeah, midfield will be Kovacic and Rodri. Then the three will be Bernardo Silva. They should play KDB. I want Foden. I want guys who can keep the ball. Those are the three. I don't want Doku. I want Foden, Bernardo, and KDB because they can keep the ball off you and it will frustrate you. And this is what I want. Keep frustrating United. Wait for that chance. And if we get that chance, take that opportunity. If we do score early in the first 15 minutes, it's a long game for you. And I think City are going to rest Doku. Doku's not going to start. Grealish, he has been... Even when he came against Luton, he was impressive. He was brilliant. He was taking the ball, beating man, dragging the ball, getting two Luton players on him, passing to KDB, and then KDB will pass a through the ball. So, to me, I can see the game plan is to keep that ball, be patient. United are happy to sit back. Okay, sit back. If you're happy to sit back, City will attack. We're patient. We're happy to keep the ball around and just keep frustrated. What we want beats Man United is we keep the ball around and you guys chase the ball. And I want this Amrabat because these guys, Amrabat and Casemiro, they come up position. I want those guys. I want Bruno to play because Bruno will lose the ball possession. When you get that chance, Bruno, if he loses the ball, will punish you. That's what City are looking for. And I think the problem is, if I was you, I'd make sure that I'll take a defensive approach in this game. Very defensive approach.
Marcel, what do you think? Wait, Hamza, so do you think City's going to win?
He's right. So, no. So, firstly...
He's speaking so confidently, then he's saying...
No, because every game I predicted, man, I swear to God, Mina, I predicted Liverpool losing. I tweet things. I jinx a team. Real Madrid losing. With 10 seconds to go, I tweet that Real Madrid win. I've done every single. Now I said no. This season, I'm not predicting anymore, especially against United. No way. No, I've learned my lesson.
No, please predict it because I need to. Because regardless, I know the TikToks are going to be 10-10 from you anyway. So I don't like. Regardless, outside of football, big up to what you're doing. But you're right. Everything you said was actually correct. It's just when it comes to the bit where Mina asks me, do you think Manchester City are going to win? I still say no. I don't know what it is within me. But everything you're saying in terms of the characteristics of certain players within our team, the best way for us to win the game, really, and the best way for you guys to win the game against us, about being extremely patient, drawing footballers out. It's 1,000% right. I think even with this school of thought, I think that's why Ten Hag just naturally just says, fuck that. I'm going to do what I always do, which is find the avenue to win and try and put the pressure on them. That's what he done when we got smacked 6-3 and conceded in the first 2 minutes. And by the way, you're right in terms of what Jack Grealish is good at because he got a yellow card in like the first 3 minutes of that game when we was at home to you guys. So I understand in terms of holding the ball, drawing players out, skills, but he's not really end product, man, Jack Grealish. So, but anyway, I still think that, like you said, the avenue for us to win is a defensive approach or the pragmatic football. If Ten Hag can smell this and understand this, brilliant. If Ten Hag can do one better than that, which is find the avenue to win and we actually execute it because we have the footballers hungry enough, ready to deliver that, with our barren and decimated squad, then it's shame on Pep Guardiola and Manchester City Football Club, for sure. So if Ten Hag can find that, without doing it the way that I think it should be done, which is the Jose Mourinho 101, the Ole 101, then halas, good luck to him.
Are you worried about Haaland and United's ever-changing backline? The Varane, yes. The Lindelofs, the Maguires, maybe the Evans.
Yes. Yeah. Luke Shaw is the Haaland killer. That's the person.
Bro, he's not the Haaland. Bro. Don't say that. Right now. Don't say that.
I'm gonna say
one game that United won, and he had a good game playing at left centre back. Don't say he's the Haaland killer.
He is.
Don't say
Haaland killer,
because Haaland and Foden put a hat trick on his head top.
Yeah, at left back. I think he was at left back and he was embarrassing there against Phil Foden. He couldn't handle it. Or was it Malacia there? You're talking about the away performance. I think Phil Foden, he was embarrassing. But I think it might have been Malacia there. I'm not 1,000% sure. But Luke Shaw at left back, it's done now. The amount of injuries and the way that the physical condition. If you I've played 11 aside at semi-pro Sunday League level. As you're older and you get your body, you start to drop back the pitch. But what's kind of unique and really good about Luke Shaw is he's found centrally that he can do the role coming back. Because left back, after you can't play left back as a left-footed player, that's it. It's done now. There's no further back. But left centre back is a good option. And the way he's been able to play that role, I think Manchester United football keep him as a left. That's all he can do now. We need the world-class left back. Get him in competing with, and he always needs competition. Get him there competing with Martinez for left centre back. We have two players that are always in and out the team, injured. But I think the quality and the caliber will always be the same. And to this day, I will always say he is the Haaland killer. Until someone can prove me differently, he is the Haaland killer.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know this weekend. I don't know if United are gonna win. I don't know if they're gonna lose. I don't know if they're gonna lose in elegant fashion. I don't know if they're gonna get slapped. I'll say one thing. The last time I went into a game confident, I did feel confident last year when they came to Old Trafford. But I think this year is just different in it. The situation that United are in, just tactically, injuries, just everything. I think it's just so different. If we could get a draw, I wouldn't be celebrating, but I'll very much just be like, yep, on to the next. Because I think the worst thing is because City are in a title race this year, they could do 4 in a row. Last year, United fans were talking about, oh, let's stop them doing the treble, got FA Cup final. They did the treble on our head top. This year, if we want them to drop points so that they don't win a title, we have to pick up points somewhere. We have to pick up points. I'm going to be like Marcel, and I'm going to be reckless and say United win. I'm going to say that just because I'll always back United. But I couldn't tell you who's going to score. With Rasmus being out, I don't know where them goals are coming from. I don't know who's going to start up top. There's just so much uncertainty. But big up to everyone in the chat. Be sure to hit the like button, guys. Be sure to subscribe. Big up to Hamza. Very humble today. Very, very. Is it? I don't know. What humbled you this week? Is it because it's your birthday today? You feeling humble?
Listen, I've talked to you before. I've been shameless before, and it's hurt me big time. So I've learned my lesson in terms of football. Like when you talk big, you can lose the game. I've talked down to teams, and then I lost. I was like, Arsenal Charity Shield. I said I'm gonna beat them 4-0. Then I said I'm gonna beat them at home, and every time I say that, it just backfires. So I have to come back here as Little Simba. I call myself Little Simba.
Little Simba, that is a serious name. But again, yeah, happy birthday, guys. Say happy birthday for Hamza in the chat. Let them know, Hamza, where they can find you on social media if they want.
You can find me in Hamza Talks Ball. There you are, down there, and you can find me on Twitter, Man City Hardcore.
There you go, Marcel. You know what it is, man. Where can they find you?
Yeah, Marcel 11 or 10, or on Twitter, Moments of Marcel, man. So yeah, man, big up to everyone today. It's been really good.
Big up, guys. You guys know what it is. Be sure to hit the like button on your way out. I'll be back after the City game on Sunday. Inshallah, I can come back with a smile on my face here. Be sure to hit the like button, guys. Be sure to subscribe. Big up to Hamza. Big up to Marcel. As always, it's your girl, Mina, guys. Peace.